seems like the council's just abandoned this area and forgotten about it.
There's a lot of students in the area and there's quite a lot of burglaries and stuff.
High rates of crime.
Yeah.
Loads of people from different areas doing lots of different things.
I stayed here for a while, so I think it must be all right. No, shit. no, it's all right, it's all right.
I'm Lowri Jones and I'm here in Leeds, Hyde Park, looking into the locals' opinions on the area, investigating crime rate and talking to local businesses about the diverse family and student population. A lot of people have a bad preconception about Hyde Park, but it is not all negativity. I'm here to try and understand what it is about the area that gives it such an essence of community and good vibes. The local businesses in Hyde Park are more distinct than any other area in Leeds. The first place I visited was Mania. How long have you been working here, in the area?
I actually live in the area.
Yeah.
I've been living here 20 years, but we've been running this shop for about 4 years now.
4 years?
Yeah.
And do you enjoy working in Hyde Park?
Absolutely love it. Because we have such a diverse cross-section of people that live in the area, students, professionals. We're quite lucky, we have a lot of regulars, but I wouldn't say really it's a family-based place. It's popular with a few of the young locals, working people, and of course the students.
Hyde Park Picture House is one of the oldest cinemas in the country, enjoyed by all the locals, and has hosted many film events, including Leeds Film Festival. And how long have you been here within the Picture House?
I've been working here for 10 years now. I started when I was a student in my second year, just when I was doing sort of sweets and stuff, and was able to kind of work my way up, and I've been general manager for about 7 years, thereabouts.
Quite a hectic job then.
Yeah, it is. It's nice and varied, which is one of the reasons I kind of love it. 1 minute you can be kind of like unblocking a toilet, and the next minute talking to students like yourself, or working with young people on something, or we can have like a special guest and suddenly I'm kind of showing around Mark Commode or someone, and it's exciting.
I went and met with workers from Royal Park Pub to gain more of an insight as to how local businesses in Hyde Park run. And how long have you worked?
We took over in August last year.
Right.
Basically we've just been up and running, trying to get this business up and running from there.
Okay. And is it going good? And
it's going in the right direction. This business was in decline.
Okay.
We're now in growth, so we're doing the right thing.
I wanted to speak with the local police officers to hear about crime rate in the area and see whether the negative label Hyde Park has is justified.
How long is it you've worked in the area for?
For 10 years. Yeah, about 10, 11 years.
Yeah. And what would you say the crime rate's like around here?
Yeah, it's dropped quite dramatically. When we first started, we were getting sort of 14, 15 burglaries a night. We're getting probably like 3, 4 a week in just Hyde Park at the moment itself. So yeah, it's dropped quite dramatically.
Working in Royal Park, have you ever felt not necessarily unsafe, but a bit wary of your surroundings?
Oh, definitely so. This area it's an area that, like I say, it's in decline. Mm-hmm. It's almost in desperation, which people are turning to different means of making money.
Yeah.
Is burglary, theft, drugs, and that sort of thing. It happens all over, but it does happen. I would have said a lot more here than anywhere else.
What about the crime and the culture within Hyde Park? Has it ever affected you personally, or?
It's not affected me personally, but it is a massive problem in this area, and I think the reason for that is lapsy-daisy students, I'm afraid, that leave windows and doors open, and the easy pickings for a lot of these. And this area gets a bad name, but a lot of the people who come and do the crime, they're not actually from the area, and they find it easy pickings in this area. So the police tell us all the time. But it's been a massive problem for years and years and years, as the high crime rate in this area.
So if you look at the door behind you first, I don't know if you can see, but that's how they broke in. They got police battering ram and just battered the door down, and they did that with every other door in this flat complex, which is like 27 of them. So they must have needed a lot of time. But
it was, yeah, it does make you feel a bit unsafe, really, especially since it was every single flat in this block. But it's still not anything that makes me feel like I can't leave the flat ever again, or because someone might come and rob it or anything like that. It's just one of those things that happens, and from what you hear about Hyde Park, it's it's going to happen to somebody at some point.
This room probably got the most damage. I mean, there was this guitar, but there was also a Fender guitar, about £800 worth. That was gone. There was an Xbox and a TV, gone. They actually did something quite clever, which a lot of robbers do, is they took the pillowcase, used that, and that's how they just chuck a load of stuff in really quickly and then get out of the place really quick.
I was thinking what to take home over Christmas, and I just couldn't fit it all in the car, and so I compromised, and I was like, well, I'm going to have to leave my bass, and I'm going to have to leave my TV or whatever, and then got like 300 quid's worth of stuff taken. So it does make you think, maybe I should have just been a bit less comfortable in the car and just squeezed that extra thing in or whatever.
And do you think that Hyde Park specifically, do you think that it's a more crime rated area than Headingley and the other places around it?
I think that the indigenous crime problems which occur in this area are largely due to the nature of the population.
Yeah.
And I say that with all due respect to the student community, but we've got 130,000 students living in this area from a combined student population of Leeds Met University, the University of Leeds, Trinity and All Saints, and a few other educational establishments like Leeds College of Art and the School of Music. And the majority of those people are between 18 and 21 years old and are living away from home for the first time, and it's the first time in their lives that they've accepted responsibility for their own safety. So, with due respect to them, they are in certain respects rather naive about how to protect themselves from crime, and a big part of that naivety manifests itself in people leaving the doors and windows open and valuable property on display.
Hyde Park is also a vibrant area for students. Over the past 20 years, a lot of people feel like the family-based areas of Leeds have been overpopulated, with a surge in undergraduates.
Well, before we actually came to uni, we had a few friends that already were in uni, so it was kind of a better idea to try to live with them, because we'd have people we knew then. We wouldn't be like awkward finding new friends and things. So we came to uni the first year and we hung around with them and whatnot, and then we said, why don't we all live together? So we found this nice place here. There was 5 flats here, 3 down there. It was a great place to live, so yeah, we just got a place there.
It was just kind of a distance thing, I think, because in my first year I was at Clarence Dock, which I don't know if you know where Clarence Dock is. It's like way over on the other side of town. It was like a 40-minute walk to uni, so after that I wanted to get somewhere closer because I was in halls. So.
Well, convenience mainly. It was in between my university and the guys I'm living with, as well as in between theirs.
And do you think the student population within Hyde Park, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Because obviously years and years ago it was mainly a community-based area, and now with all the students coming in, a lot of people think that crime rate is heightened and all that sort of stuff. But do you think that with the students being in Hyde Park, do you think that is a good thing?
I think it's a real combination. I think the students bring a lot of energy to the area. There are things, we have incredible bus routes in Hyde Park and Headingley, which is a really minor thing, but I don't drive, so I really love it. And I think that is partly due to the students. We have better public transport than most of the parts of the city. We also sort of have stuff happening kind of all the time, and there's a kind of energy that I think is largely down to the students, or the general proximity to the university, because it's not just students, it's academics and lecturers and ex-students like myself who've kind of stayed in the area. However, I think because of all the students, there's a lot of landlords who've taken advantage, and consequently there's a lot of properties that aren't very well cared for, and that's a problem.
Do you think if it wasn't for the students now sort of taking over Hyde Park, that the small businesses such as, say, Coffee Mania, which is up the road, which does quite well, do you think that they would be in decline as well? Do you think the students help a lot?
Oh, without doubt. It's basically the businesses around here, they need the students. You wouldn't have people like Sainsbury's opening their convenience stores, such as big companies.
Yeah. I went to see Andrew a month later to see if his accommodation had made any changes since the break-in. We spoke to you about a month ago, I think it was. So has anything changed since we last came?
There's actually one major thing changed, to be honest, and that is we've now got security gates outside.
Yeah.
However, the landlords have done it in such a weird way that now we've had problems with our parcels and things, and some couriers can't get inside because they don't know the code to the gates and stuff, and it's just really difficult to get your cars in there as well. But no, I mean everyone's pretty much got their things back as well now.
Yeah.
Which is,
I was going to say, did everybody have insurance or?
Well, only one of us really got their insurance done. I think another person got he didn't get full insurance, but he got the majority of it paid for him. He had to put a little bit of money towards it still. But I mean, the one who actually lost the most, he got full insurance, luckily, and he got all of his things back.
And do you think that since the break-in, obviously the new tenants coming in for this year, do you think it will deter them a little bit, the fact that there was such a big...
Well, actually, as far as I know, the landlords haven't said anything to anyone.
Really?
And actually, there was a point where they came in and they said there'd been a robbery, and they kind of made it sound a lot less than it was, and it was pretty harsh. Like, every single flat, they just said it was like a little robbery, and no one got much stuff taken and things like that. But
Okay, well, thank you very much for speaking with me today.
Cheers.
Even though some students have been mistreated by landlords and long-term residents have suffered in regards to crime and overpopulation, the overall feel is that Hyde Park is generally a good place to live, and furthermore, the locals have positive improvements for the area in the near future. Do you think that there's anything in Hyde Park that could be improved to make it that little bit better?
Oh, there's so much. I mean, I think if people were to take a little bit better care of the properties, like landlords, it would help encourage students to think of the area a little bit more as a sort of proper area rather than just somewhere to kind of come in for a year, 2 years, and then just sort of leave. It would maybe make people think of it more as a kind of long-term option. I also think just generally kind of improving the facilities here, looking after the public spaces a little bit better, that kind of thing would have a real effect. But I think there's a really incredible community kind of trying to make that happen, and it certainly feels better than it did sort of say 10 years ago when I started working here.
To be honest with you, I think there's no area like it because there's such a cross-section of people here, and it's a totally different vibe here in Hyde Park than the rest of Leeds, most definitely.
And last question, if you could sum Hyde Park up in 2 words, what would it be?
Unique and diverse.
Unique, diverse, depends on what time of year it is. It could be cold and wet, or nice and sunny. It's Hyde Park is just Hyde Park. It's unique. It's got everything really.
Yeah.
Everything you need.
Okay, well, thanks for speaking with us today.
No problems.
Thank you. Overall, I feel Hyde Park has been judged too quickly and holds a reputation of crime that is not necessarily fair. After speaking to the locals and workers of the area, it seems to definitely be an up-and-coming diverse place of its time, and personally I feel it can only get better with the improvements that it needs. Hyde Park has its faults, but like any other area you go to, there will always be positives as well.